So I was
What?
so you're working?
Yeah, I'm editing. Why?
Well, you know how I like all of the Sherlock Holmes mysteries?
What's Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes was the most famous detective in the world.
No? You're right.
Everybody in the world knows Sherlock Holmes, except you.
Yeah, I just.
This is a foreigner in the Philippines, by the way, and we're just talking about things. Well, she doesn't know yet, but we're talking about things which, little worrisome things.
Yeah. So good morning.
Good morning, honey.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just wondering what Sherlock Holmes would have made of the what I'm thinking of as the Great Chocolate Mystery. You know, there was a great train robbery. Did you know about that?
No.
In England, they had this great train robbery, and the robbers they robbed a train, and it was very famous. And I'm thinking that now we have the Great Chocolate Robbery. Do you know about the chocolate robbery, honey?
No, I don't know also.
Do you remember that we got that surprise package from, where was it? Was it?
From Luz.
Yes, I know it was from Luz.
From Singapore.
From Singapore, yes. Well, how much Toblerone did we have in there? Do you remember that?
It's a lot. It's a whole box of Toblerone.
It was a box. And, you know, I was so surprised the other day. I mean, we only got it the other day, and I went to the refrigerator, and guess what?
I give it away.
You'll never guess about this. It's like a kilo of Toblerone had what?
Gone.
Had gone, yes. Now, I was wondering what Sherlock Holmes would have made of this, because how many people live in this house, honey?
2.
2. And one of them is me. And I'm wondering who could have taken a kilo.
It's not kilo.
It was a kilo. I looked on the box, it's a kilo.
Yeah, but we shared that to Nanay, Mananglina, Balulot, Manurado, and the kids there at my sister-in-law.
Why?
So.
But what about me?
I gave some. I leave some there, right?
Honey, out of a kilo, you left 2.
It's not 2.
It was.
You ate that before. You just forgot.
I ate any of the Toblerone.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. By the way, what's this talk about?
What's this talk about?
Yeah.
Honey, all the chocolate has gone in the house, and you're wondering what we're going to talk about?
Yeah, so again, thank you to those who send a chocolate gift.
See, this
to
is
us.
this is what she does. Every time she wants to worm her way out of talking about something, she starts going into, yes, thank you very much for your this and that and the other.
Thank you very much. We're immune of chocolate, so we're very grateful.
Honey, we're not
very
immune.
grateful.
Let me look. I know that English is not your first language, but the word is not immune.
What?
The
Immune.
word is addicted.
Oh, addicted. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah,
now,
so thank you.
now that the chocolate has gone, now what? I mean, what happened to our quality of life?
Don't say that. So again, thank you very much, Mom Luz from
You see
Singapore.
what she does?
We ate chocolate, it's a lot.
Well, actually, that's not really true, is it?
It's true. Don't
We
say
didn't eat
that.
the chocolate. Somebody else did.
I hide some because if I put all together in the ref, all the day she finish it. So I
See,
step by
eventually,
step. One day I put the
eventually,
chocolate
you
show it.
winkle out the truth. So you hid the chocolate?
Yeah, I hid it so that it will last long because this is what happened if I put the chocolate all there and it's very shown on you when you open the ref. You eat all in just an hour. So what I did,
Maybe an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I put.
But what else? What else are you supposed to do with chocolate? I mean, that's not the purpose, is it? I mean, if you look on television and they're advertising chocolate, they don't say buy a kilo of chocolate and hide it. They say buy the chocolate and eat it. And that's what you're supposed to do.
I ate. In fact, there's only.
Oh, I know that you
one.
eat it because you know where it's hidden.
Don't say that I'm hiding everything. I hid all the
I'm chocolate abused. You realize that?
Yeah, and then Nanay
try to be honest. Never mind talking about Nanay.
No, Nanay is coming here. She says,
and she gets the chocolate.
Yeah, she also
you let Nanay. I love Nanay. I love Nanay. Okay, but you gave her free access to the refrigerator, knowing that there is chocolate in plain
that's why
view.
She's always go there in the wrap.
And you mean she's been going there when I'm not here?
Yeah.
And filching our chocolate, my chocolate?
Come on. So that's how our chocolate life here in the hills were addicted. So by the way, just to have a random about fragile Filipina beauty, you know, because I'm working, I'm trying to connect, I'm trying to sum up all. But so far, the internet and the cell phone is very low. But so far, this is our plan on next week. Possible by Monday or Tuesday, I will bring Nessa to the PhilHealth in the town, and I let her register to be a member of PhilHealth insurance, so that when we go to the hospital, all the bills will be deducted by PhilHealth. So after that,
all the bills won't be deducted. It means that we get a refund of some. Just explain how that happens.
So this is what happened. Once Lisa has a PhilHealth, all the bills, but it depends on the diagnosis and what are the medicines and laboratory examinations can be done. So all the bills will be computed and then less the PhilHealth deduction. So whatever the net, that's what we're going to pay. So by Monday or Tuesday, I will bring Lisa to the PhilHealth office. After that, we're going to the barangay captain to get a certification that Nisa is an indigent.
So a barangay captain, just to explain, is an elected official, yes?
Yeah, an elected official.
And doesn't he preside over initial arguments and stuff like that, and obviously helping out people who want to get on field health?
Yeah, just like that. But on Monday, that's what our plan. Then after that, once we completed all the documents that is needed, we're going back to Cebu by Thursday or Friday to pass the requirements, because this is what happened. The doctor in Cebu advised us to put Nisa in charity. It's not fully
in charity.
Yeah, in charity case. So in other words,
as a charity case.
Yeah, as a charity case, because we can avail a discount. You know, the doctor's fee is free, plus room accommodation for 5 days is free, and then there are some medicines and laboratory discounted on that as a charity case. So I asked I processed last when we went there. I processed the charity papers and I asked what are the requirements. So
we've done some of the paperwork on getting charity.
Yeah. So this is what happened. The requirements is for the barangay certifications, and also the letter made by me, myself, and Terence that were the one shoulder in behalf of those who send the gifts, because there's a certifications that we are the one who pay the bill of Nessa.
We're
but it's not us, it's you.
Yeah, we're putting us on the line as being responsible for the bill. Now it it sounds like the way that she's putting it, it sounds like they will owe us money at the moment, but it doesn't quite, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
What it means is in order to, if we can meet certain requirements, that terrible phrase, certain requirements, if we can meet those, then things like the hospital stay, the surgeon's fee, a lot of big items will be paid for by this charity organization. That's the government?
No,
Yes?
no, it's not the government. It's the hospital, Chonghua Hospital. Like some of their some of their, what do you call that?
Well,
one of their way to help those needy people.
Right.
who
So
can't-
obviously, then, in that case, as she explains it, the hospital Changhua has a program which will help those who cannot help
Yeah.
themselves. So that's
Because-
what we're looking at.
Yeah, because it happens if it's not charity, it's more than 500 or more than of that, because of the doctor's fee. But because we are charity case, because the doctor introduced us to the charity case for Nisa,
Yes.
it's lesser. So that's what he says, 500,000.
Yeah, we did go. We
Because
went.
it's the
We went
operation.
first to the Bone and Joint Centre, and that's where we saw what I think was the main man.
Yeah, that's the doctor
Right.
that's gonna handle.
He's the one that's going to do. He's the surgeon that's going to do the job, and he was very, very good. But it seemed to me that as soon as we said that we were trying, I said we're trying. I wanted to make a video of the consultation, and as soon as I explained why, then he seemed to lose interest, and he wrote a note out saying, well, you should go and register for charity. And we were kind of out, a bum's rush out the door. Well, we went over to the hospital. Now, the next guy that we saw was an intern, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's an intern.
He was an
surgeon.
intern surgeon, and he came out. When we mentioned about, well, we've been sent over here for the to register, have an interview for charity, then he started saying, well, that's going to take months, and here we are, we don't have months. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, so when I said to the doctor that there's we want the MRI, the X-ray, and then the intern doctor says that, oh, if you want to go to if you want to be in charity, it will take long. And I says, how long, doc? And he says, 3 weeks, more than that, or it depends on if you complied all the requirements. So it's a little, so I said to the doctor, we want to be done now, so that we know what's the next process. So we're going to pay. But once we plan to admit it, I want to process that so that we can avail the discount. And sad to say, remember there are some comments says that go to the DSWD, Department of Social Welfare and Development, for assistance. When I spoke to that charity personnel there who handled the charity case, I asked that man, what if we're going to go to the DSWD, some organizations that helps for NISA, to cover up the bill. And then that man said, sorry ma'am, because this is what happened. Once you go to the DSWD, some PCSO or whatever organization that issued a letter of authorization that are going to shoulder some of that amount, your charity will be forfeited.
Forfeited.
Yeah, forfeited.
So in other words, these organizations are not prepared to work together.
Yeah.
The hospital Changhua has its own program, and that's the program that we're trying to get on, because it would all be connected in the same way. So that's what we're trying to get on there. Just to explain that Changhua is a new hospital, and it is an incredible place. It's all very, very high tech. It's almost science fiction-esque when you go in there. Everybody is just perfect. It's like it just is so impressive. And the surgeon said that his logic was that he wanted to do the operation in Changhua simply because everything is so good. All of the equipment is so advanced. It's state of the art. So that's when he mentioned the other hospitals, there's a possibility of breakdown. So in other words, you know, these other hospitals, it's possible that you might be in the middle of the operation and they suffer some kind of a malfunction or a breakdown in the equipment. That won't happen at the Changhua. Well, my reasoning is that if this is an operation or two operations over 2 days, which will take place in the region of the spine. We're talking about just a few centimeters away from the spine. Now, the doctor said that the risk of paralysis of both legs, based on what he was talking about, was only 1%, which I consider that's like no percent. 1%, 1 in 100 chances that something might not be successful. So, that close to the spine, do we want to go with the best? Why would we take this girl this so far and bring her back paralyzed in both legs? We're not going to do that. So that's why we thought we would not go for the other programs, because then it all gets confused. Right now, she doesn't have any income. They could send somebody around and have a look at where she lives, and there's no Rolls Royce parked outside. She wouldn't risk that because she doesn't have any doors and windows and a floor. So we're going the way that we're going because that's the way that we think. Now, we took enough money with us to pay for the MRI and the total cost, and it's not an easy thing to cost up, but because this is a girl that is almost on the point of exhaustion as soon as she starts walking. She can't breathe properly. So you have to take taxis everywhere. You can't get on a jeepney with a girl that has something that looks like a fist hanging out the back. So it's expensive. We spent, was it around, a rough guess was around 17,000 pesos.
No, it's not including our expenses, it's around.
Right, so, like we had to eat, we had to pay for a ferry, we had to do these things. Is it 19,000?
Yeah.
Well, I spent everything that I had in my wallet. I went thinking that we'd never use anything that I had, but I had 4,000 or 5,000 in my wallet, and that was all gone by the time we got home. I had 500 pesos left. So that's how we are proceeding right now. The next thing is to go down to the barangay captain. It's very simple paperwork that we have to do, so it's not. And it would just go down to his home. It's not a complicated thing. So we can get that done. And
after that, we're going to the hospital, bring a person to donate a blood.
Oh, that's a strange little condition that they have on there, that they're willing to do this operation, but somebody has to give blood. Now, I'm not sure that I have any, so we'll have to take somebody along there to give blood. I mean, what is it, a pint?
I think 2 bags.
2 bags?
Yeah, 1 bag or 2 bags, because it's part of their program that every patient that is under charity case should donate. Somebody should donate a blood for her, and that blood are gonna use in the hospital.
Okay. Just generally,
you know.
Like. God, that's a whole armful. But anyway, I would be willing to do that. Of course, it's not really a big deal, is it? Whether they would take it or not.
No, your blood is not allowed.
What do you mean my blood is not allowed? What's wrong with my blood?
Not your blood.
What?
Not your blood. Because your blood.
Excuse me, we're going to have to try to sort something out here. Just what are you implying about my blood?
No, because just don't use your blood. I think I just asked my brother or myself to donate the blood.
Well, your blood's better than mine.
No, I just want to feel that my blood is transforming to other person, which helps them to stay alive. So that's how I feel. So I want to donate my blood if I'm available.
Well, you can donate your blood anyway. I mean, if you want to go down there, they'll take it any time, I'm sure. They'd be very happy to.
Yeah, and the good news is any type of blood.
Any type of blood?
Yeah.
What, could we take one of the dogs down there?
No, just a person's blood. Okay?
Well, anyway, see, you've done it again. You've successfully change the subject away from the really important things, which is the chocolate.
Yeah, so that's how our updates of the chocolates that I hide, and also and also to the fragile Filipino woman beauty Nessa. So we're hoping or positive that by January the operations is finished, it's conducted, because so far as of now we got around I think 200,000 pesos. So
200,000.
300,000 on the way. On the way. I mean, that's our target to get to gather. So, but we're positive that somewhere out there, who watch the videos, who watch the conditions of Nisa will be touched. So, again, to those who send gifts, thank you very much. It's Merry Christmas.
It's what?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But what about the chocolate?
Yeah, the chocolate is.
Where is it? We're not leaving here until I know where the chocolate is.
I gave it away.
So you didn't hide it? You gave it away?
Yes, some I hide, okay?
This is grounds for divorce, you know that, don't you?
Yes,
Your Honour. She gave the chocolate away, and the judge will say, my God, she did that to you? You get everything except the chocolate.
Yes, so again, thank you very much for our supporters who subscribes, who made some comments on our channel. Thank you very much. We sleep night and we're still reading your comments. And sorry if we didn't reply because the signal is very low here in the mountain. But we're very amazed on how the supports. And also early in the morning, we wake up and there's a lot of messages. So thank you. It's a way to uplift, that means, what's that?
What's that? She always does this. I mean, she goes to say something and then she says, what's that?
No, I mean, it helps us to push through.
How do I know? She hasn't said anything. How am I supposed to know? What's what?
Yeah, it helps us to push through, in other words.
To post what?
Yeah, even sometimes we're sometimes we're getting tired of going there, going here, going there, going here. But once we read the comments, the messages,
it
helps us energy.
I know where this is going. As soon as she mentions getting tired, I know where this is going.
Where?
When we got back from Cebu, even though it wasn't my idea to come back, I would have liked to have stayed at Ron's place again, where we could sleep in a nice comfortable house and a nice comfortable bed and have everything, and even have Ron take us out for chicken and rice, and she decided that she wanted to go home. So we had this rush then to get out into Pier 2, which is like an insane asylum gone wrong, with millions of people all wanting to go to the same place, and they want to do it through a very narrow corridor. Can you imagine? It's like being a sardine in a can. So we did that, and we managed to get out and got on the ferry, like almost as it's leaving. We almost had to jump from the dock. We got on there, then people are sitting in the wrong seat, and then we had to get them out of it, and then we got down, and finally we get to Tubigon. And when we arrive at Tubigon, we get a tricycle which takes us the short ride, a long walk, but a short ride down to standing outside McDonald's. So we'll go in and use the toilet in McDonald's. Thank you, Mr. McDonald's. And then we come out, and Tubigon, it's like after 10 o'clock they put the lights out and everybody goes to bed. There's nothing there.
Yeah, right. So after...
So now, she says, there's no buses. So, well, you mean, aren't there any vans? No, there's no vans. So she and Nisa do the Asian squat and sit down on the sidewalk in this ever-darkening town. It's not a city, it's just a town. Even the vendors are packing up. So now I'm wondering, well, what are we going to do? It's like like being a child and talking to your mummy. Well, mummy, what will we do now? She says, well, we'll have to wait. Well, this is where a foreigner fails miserably. Well, wait for what? So what did we wait for, honey?
Yeah, we wait for the van. Who knows? There's a van past us.
Who knows?
But so far, no. And it's already at 10:30. I think 10 or 10:30. So we decided.
It doesn't matter. The city, the town was closed.
Yeah, so we decided to have a tricycle. It's from Tubigon to Hitafe. And it's very cold, you know.
Now, a tricycle.
Yeah, a tricycle.
A tricycle is an inhuman machine that is made to torture passengers. That's its function. It takes you from A to B, or in our case, A to F, because it's so far, and you sit there and you have your bones attacked by no upholstery, sitting on a wooden bench, and this thing rattles along a terrible road for how long was it?
Yeah, around 1 hour and a half.
1.5 hours. When you're finally ejected from this machine, what happened then? Now, this is where I have to take all the blame, and that's what the little remark was about being very tired, wasn't it, my dear?
Yeah, when we arrive at Hitafe, it's around 11:30. The gate is closed, so we
The parking lot is
the
closed.
parking lot is closed. So we call the guard. I think the guard is sleeping. So we
The guard is sleeping. We're calling from outside the parking lot, saying "Ayo, ayo," hoping that it will wake him. Well,
Yeah.
eventually it did. So he comes out and he computes what we owe him, which was, oh, you couldn't find the receipt, could you?
Yeah, it's around 200, I think. 200.
No,
pesos.
it was 120.
120.
It was 120.
Yeah, but the next day, including the next day.
No, they never charged me
They
anything
never
for
charged
the next day. Well, anyway, this is where the villain of the piece, me, we get in the truck and the man says, oh, maybe you should just see if the car will start. Why would it not, I say. And I get in, and then as I put the key into the dead lock, he says, well, you left the lights on. So the battery is as dead as a doornail, as they say. So then I say, I'm a foreigner. What do I know about this? Well, now what? So she says, well, we're going home. Well, how are we going to do that? Because if Tubigon was dead, you should see the dock at Itafi at 11:30 at night. Dead doesn't do it. So,
Yeah.
would you like to take the story from here, my dear?
Yeah, so this is what happened from that, because the battery is low because of her, you know, without thinking, going out in the truck without thinking and leave the battery on. So we walk, I think, 15 minutes to the highway and asked for a motorcycle to bring us to Tulang. So we pay a motorcycle, 3 of us in the back of motorcycle, so 4 including the driver. And then we come home. We bring Nisa in her house because it's just on our way.
I have to take responsibility for this, but this girl is exhausted. I mean, she's been on the go for like 2 days, and now because of me, you can imagine how I felt, how guilty I felt. We have to walk up this rocky path in the dark. I mean, they're not complaining, but there's a very, very loud silence every time I say, "Wow, look at all those stars up in the sky. This is such a clear night." Silence. Well, it could be worse. It could be it could be raining. Silence. Well, anyway, every so often they have to sit down and rest.
Yeah, and then
If
when
I
we
could have
pass,
if I could have taken all of the pain, if I could have carried both of them, I would have done it.
yeah.
There's nothing that you can do, and it's a
So
dirt track, and it's full of ridges, and we're tripping over. In fact, the final guilt thing was she fell.
yeah, yeah, because it's around. We walk around 1 o'clock now. It's 12:48. We're already still in the road walking, and it's very dark.
This is in this is in darkness, okay?
Yeah, and then I fall, and I said to Terence, "Do your videos. I will not do any more videos. I will not edit anymore. It's too much for me."
And I'm walking behind her. I'm already dripping with guilt, and I can see her back, and I can hear this. Now, if there's anything I can't handle, it's hearing a woman cry. What can you do when someone keeps crying? Honey, don't cry. But and it's just her back. Well, how long did we have that for? Another 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's very painful, when you fall down and your knee, your chin is in the ocean. You almost kiss the floor, And I said to Terence, I will not do any more editing. I will not do any more videos. Do on your own.
And all I can think of was, can't we just hit rewind, and we'll rewind back to before she fell, and then I'll take the fall, and then I won't cry. I promise I won't cry. But you can't do that because this is real life. So we have all of that. We're already in the divorce courts. We have the last little bit, which is almost impossible. A couple of times we've had to abandon the truck when we get to the last bit because it just can't make it up there, and we're walking in the dark. So by the time we get home, we're well, it was not good.
Yeah.
She's
And then
she's laughing now, but she wasn't laughing the other night.
yeah,
Were you, my dear?
I'm just really tired. I'm just waiting for the doctor for I think for 6 hours, waiting for that intern, because as what the nurse said, there's still an operation. But I saw the doctor passing us and says we just come back, And what he just need to write is just the endorsement, So a little bit irritated. So 6 hours of waiting,
irritated.
and we have lunch around 4:30 in the 4:30 afternoon. That's our lunch,
The thing is, because they didn't say he'll be here at 3 o'clock, so you look at your watch and it's 2 o'clock. You say, well, we have time to get some food. They don't do that. Well, he's in surgery and will be out in a moment.
Yeah.
That's that Filipino thing. I think that they have clocks with 10 minutes to in a moment, or 10 minutes after in a moment. But on ordinary clocks they don't have that. So they didn't dare to leave. So I, in the end, I went to our bank near Basak. What is that place that I went to?
Mambaling.
What?
Mambaling.
Mambaling?
Yeah, so that's what happened. So now, just to continue our little argument. So I said to Terence, I'm very...
It wasn't little, okay.
So I said to Terence, sir, I will not do the editing.
Sir.
Just do your... I said, so I will not do the editing because I'm crying, when your emotion, so I was carried by my emotion when you kiss the land, the ocean, the soil, and you're banging your head, So I said that
There's a little bit of dramatization going on here.
yeah, it's true. I kissed the soil. So I said to Terence, I will not do the editing anymore. I will not do any videos. And then Terence says, come on, don't be like that. And I said to Terence, there are that I wake up early. I I wake up, early in the morning just to eat it. I don't have proper sleep. And then Terence says, it's okay if you don't have proper sleep, as long as there's a lot of people sleeping very well because they have a new house, And then I said, so it's a little bit.
So we went through this thing that people go through when they argue, which is, what about what I do? Look at what I do. And then the ego comes in.
Yeah.
And then her ego is onto my ego, and she and I are not even talking anymore. It's just the egos are talking, Well, I get up in the morning, and then I do all of the editing, and I do this, and I do that, and I do the other, and I'm saying, well, what do you think I do? Am I just sitting there? No, I don't. Who drives us everywhere? Who's the driver? Who does this? And well, that's nothing. You're just sitting there, and and it gets to World War III proportions.
Yeah, and then
How long did it take us to get over that?
Yesterday. Yeah, we're still talking. We're talking in the morning, but there's a little, this a little bit distance. Yeah.
Fortunately, due to my past upbringing as a Roman Catholic, I'm not a Roman Catholic anymore. I'm non-denominational. I'm spiritual rather than religious. But I learned about doing penance.
What's penance?
Penance.
What's that?
Penance is what you make someone else do when you're loading them with guilt. It's pack your bags, you're going on a guilt trip.
Yeah, so but we're okay now,
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and then I'm when I wake up in the morning, yesterday morning, we have an argument about. I said, I will not do an editing anymore. I will not do videos anymore. Just do on your own, So when I wake up in the morning and I look the phone, some messages, I said to myself, sorry God, I'm sorry Lord, I made a wrong statement, but I read the messages about about things, about improvement, some positive outlook. So I said, thank you Lord, sorry for what I did. Don't worry, we'll continue.
Now, she may have said all this to the Lord, but she didn't say it to me.
I ate it that morning, and I said to you, let's do a videos now, and you said to me, oh, you changed your mind, and I said yes, because there's a lot of people who
Depending us.
Yeah, depending us,
See, but what I think really did it, actually, seriously, I think what really did it was, sometimes when you get in the middle of an argument and no one's receiving incoming calls, it's all, it's all doing that at each other. You're hating each other, and you're doing the impossible. You're in your mind, you're working through the divorce courts, you're talking to the judge, you're packing your bags, you're, in my case, wondering where the hell you would go, and you're really not thinking straight anymore. And we went round and we gave 2 sacks of rice to Liselle.
Yeah, Liselle.
And was it her mother that was there, or was it her? No, not her mother. It was her aunt, wasn't it?
No,
her
no
auntie.
No one's there. Just Don.
Honey, was that an apparition that I saw, or was it the right lady that was holding that baby?
That's Liselle. The one, you see?
That wasn't Liselle.
That's Liselle. The one who cried. That's
Yes.
Liselle.
Good girl.
See? Oh, look.
Can you leave my ear alone?
It's 2 long videos now.
But anyway, I don't care what it's a long video. They're not going to watch it till the end anyway. The point.
You're crazy.
So I'm talking to no one anyway. But
You're crazy.
I just looked at this couple and their baby and their basic little house, and the woman is trying to say thank you to all those people that she doesn't even know, and she's trying to say thank you, and she can't speak because she's crying. In fact, we're all crying, and I suddenly realised that any little argument that we may have is just like a squabble. It's just doesn't mean anything. And in fact, we should be ashamed of ourselves for behaving like that, okay? So as I walked away, I said to Beth, you know, we really are very fortunate in what we have. When I look at how little those people have got. So that kind of straightened things out a lot for me anyway. So where are we? Is it time for you to thank everybody again?
Yes. So again, thank you for those who send gifts to these people. Thank you for sharing your blessings to them. These projects, the house repair projects, by the way, Bini's house is already completed. So we got...
Is it completed now?
Yeah, it's completed now. So to the house of Desiree, to Manurado's house and well, to the paralyzed man's house, to the 3 little girls' house, to Bini's house, to Liselle's and to Nisa's who send gifts. So again, these projects will not be possible without you. Without you. You know, we didn't help them. You are the one who sent gifts. We're just only passing the channel of helps to them.
Yeah.
So again, from the bottom of our heart, Merry Christmas, and thank you, many thank you.
So this is Christmas.
So this is
what
Christmas.
have we done?
And what have
Another
we
year.
done?
Oh.